Just talking about Jerome, Arizona creates a strange heaviness in the chest, as if the air itself is warning you that even mentioning this place isn't safe. People say that at night, when the streets of the town are empty and only the whistling wind moves through them, a faint chanting rises from the old mining shafts, an eerie sound that seems human. Yet not quite. Some claim they've seen figures dressed in white robes and plain masks standing at the edge of the cliffs, as if waiting for someone to answer their call. But the worst part is when you hear that their leader, Jerome's very first healer, Jerome Bishop, may never have actually died. They say he still leads his cult, not living, but in a state that the human mind simply can't understand. This is the hook that sets the tone for the terror ahead, a cult that never ends and a leader who has cheated both time and death. The story of this haunted town begins in the early 1900s, when Jerome was booming with copper mining and people were drunk with gold rush dreams. But as accidents increased, bodies piled up, and workers began suffering mental breakdowns, the energy of the town changed. Amid this growing unrest stood one man, Jerome Bishop, who claimed he could heal people. In the beginning, townsfolk treated him like a savior, but slowly his rituals and his words began to frighten people. He said pain was a gateway, and that a person could control their soul if they made certain sacrifices. When a massive mining accident killed 27 men, Bishop disappeared. Authorities declared him lost in the collapse, but locals insisted his death was never proven. To this day, people claim Bishop still lurks in the tunnels in a new form, guiding his cult. Visitors often dismiss this as a joke, but those who stay overnight know this darkness isn't just a ghost story. It is the breathing echo of a living cult. Jerome's oldest and most dangerous secret lies deep inside its mining tunnels, the place where people first heard the chanting of the children of Jerome. After the 1912 accident, when rescue teams entered the tunnels, they found more than fallen rocks and broken tools. Hidden in the debris was an old wooden altar that someone had tried to destroy in a hurry. According to logs, the altar had dried blood stains, and behind it was a symbol of 3 overlapping circles. This is the same symbol that still appears occasionally on the outer walls of the town, drawn in chalk or dried red paint. From the 1930s to the 1960s, several farmers and hikers went missing, and the night before each disappearance, the symbol appeared on their doors. At first, authorities called it a prank, but when missing people's clothes and belongings were found near the abandoned Shaft 12, the cult theory became impossible to ignore. The strangest thing about Shaft 12 is that its entrance is always sealed, yet at night a cold gust blows out of it like a massive hall exists inside, even though no map shows anything there. In the 1960s, a group of teenagers tried to open Shaft 12 as part of a dare. The last seconds of their tape recording captured a horrifying humming sound, followed by a long breath that suddenly transformed into a high-pitched scream. The next day 3 of the teens returned, but the 4th was never found. The 3 who returned couldn't speak, their voices were completely gone, as if someone had physically crushed their throats to silence them. Doctors called it psychological trauma, but all 3 teens wrote the same words: "We saw him in the dark." Naturally, everyone believed him referred to Jerome Bishop, because the teens described a tall, thin, unnaturally twisted figure standing in the deep corner of the tunnel. Its face looked blank like a mask, but not smooth like one, more like skin stretched tightly over bone. In 2001, paranormal researcher Dana Hall investigated and spent 2 weeks gathering evidence. Her diary mentions how locals shut their windows at night, and when she asked why, they simply said, "He calls at night." Her equipment experienced constant interference. One night, her camera captured a tall white figure standing motionless in a building's shadow, no movement, no blinking. But when the camera panned back, the figure was gone, replaced by 3 overlapping circles drawn in chalk on the ground. When Dana moved closer to the underground tunnels, a strange sound pattern appeared on her audio recorder, a humming that grew stronger as she approached, like a sub-frequency chant. She attempted to decode it and discovered that the chanting seemed like a mix of ancient Latin and Apache, an impossible combination since those cultures never historically merged. It is said that Bishop's cult chooses vessels, people who are mentally weak, physically exhausted, or emotionally vulnerable. These individuals are observed for 3 nights. If they're suitable, the symbol is drawn outside their home. The next night, when they step outside alone, a white masked figure blocks their path. Survivors say that it feels like there is no human behind the mask, just an empty void, a blankness that drains energy from your body. An elderly witness claimed he once saw 3 cult members carrying a body down the hill. The body looked alive, but it wasn't resisting, almost as if hypnotized. When the witness told the police, the symbol appeared behind his house the next morning. And 3 days later he disappeared too. Recent drone footage has made things even more terrifying. Several times, drones captured a perfectly glowing circle on the ground. But when crews went to the site, nothing was there, as if the light existed only for a few seconds before vanishing. Some locals say these glowing circles aren't symbols but doorways, portals the cult opens for Bishop as spirit to pass through. Anyone who stands too close experiences hallucinations, hearing a whisper that repeats one word, return. No one knows what this return refers to, but people believe Bishop is trying to rebuild a physical body, and he needs fresh human vessels for it. Even today, if you walk the empty streets of Jerome at night, you'll feel shadows following you, footsteps matching your own, and the air suddenly carrying the smell of burning metal. Locals say it is leftover fumes from mining accidents as residue from the cult's rituals. They warn tourists clearly, explore Jerome if you must, but don't go near the tunnels. If you see the 3 circles, run. And if you see anyone in a white mask, don't look at them. That glance won't let you return. This story of Jerome, Arizona doesn't feel like a mere ghost town rumor. It feels alive, breathing through the same tunnels where everything began. People say the cult never dies. It only goes quiet until a new target, a new vessel, wanders too close. If you ever walk those streets at night and the air suddenly turns cold, or a shadow seems to walk beside you, remember, you are not alone. And if you ever find the 3 overlapping circles drawn somewhere near you, run without looking back, because it means the cult has noticed you. They say Bishop always sees his next vessel first, and once he sees you, he never forgets. Jerome's darkness is still hungry, and it needs only one thing: another person who will never be seen again.